that? One scene.
Actually, it's going to be super easy. Barely inconvenience.
Welcome everyone to Small Zero. I'm 130, your co-host. 3D Jake here with always is the guys, and also a special guest, the guy who is so fantastic. He is the only black guy that is fantastic. Okay, literally, it's a joke, but still, I mean, he's very fantastic.
Okay.
But yeah, with me as always, is the gang. First up, we have Ryan Cam over here, the polka dot man himself. Ryan Cam, what's going on, man?
David Dalsmalchin, I like him as an actor, so yeah, I'll take that. No, it's good. I'm glad to be here, starting another Road 2, not on my channel this time, so it's going to be fun. Talking about a guy who's been in the news lately for very good reasons, but he's been in the news lately.
Yeah, it's not. Yes, the good news is not about tweets this time, so let's keep that trend going.
Thank God for that.
The next up with me is a guy who literally has the same personality as Peacemaker. Matt Wyatt, how you doing?
I cherish peace where I can get. I don't care how many women and children I need to kill to get it.
I dig it. What's going on? You good?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to get into the Suicide Squad and talk about what James Gunn had done with making it peak. And
last, but certainly, definitely not least, is a man who literally looks like Idris Elba's cousin, Blacktastic Media. Bloodsport himself.
What's happening, fellas? It's nice to talk about this film, man. Who knew this would be the intro to what the DCU would look like in the future? Who knew?
No one knew at the time.
No.
People with good taste, no.
I mean, at the time when this was technically like the DCEU from the old shared cinematic universe, but it was really just more of its own thing when James Gunn was brought on. And when he got fired from Disney and then Warner Brothers got him to hire, and they originally wanted him to direct a Superman movie. They asked him if he'd be interested in it, and he said, no, I don't know how to tackle it. I don't know how to make it work at the time. And his first project that came into his mind, he wanted to make the Suicide Squad.
I will say this movie, Suicide Squad, it is a very good film. I love it. This movie has gorgeous shots in the movie. I was just telling the guys, like I said, this movie has like some of the great, it just has like so many good shots in the movie. Let me see if I can pull it up right here. Yeah, like right here. Okay, y'all can see right here on this camera.
Yeah, no.
Right here.
You might want to mute it without copyright strikes, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure. Oh. Look that. I mean, look at that right there. See?
I see black screen.
Yeah.
You don't see
black screen.
No.
Oh, no, they already copyrighted me. I was like, all right. Oh,
yeah, you can't share it, remember? You can't do that anymore.
Oh, that's right. I forgot I can't do it anymore.
Oh.
All right, we'll just add a clip in. Yeah, it's the scene of them in the rain, by the way.
Yeah, beautiful. It's like the opposite of what happened in the opening of the movie with the old team that got killed off in the beginning of the film with the American flag behind them. And who would have thought that? Like, I knew there was something going to happen to the first team, and because they didn't show too much of them in the trailer, but I was not expecting them to go out and bite the dust in the first 10 minutes of the movie. Like, it felt like that. James Gunn watched Deadpool 2 when the X-Force got killed off so quickly when they were about to have their little team up.
Took notes.
And he literally took notes and took that idea and brought it into this movie. I was like, what? The moment that Blackheart, played by Pete Davidson, gets his face blown off.
Yeah,
I'm sure for a certain demographic that was very satisfying.
I remember when they were shit talking. One of the people I know was shit talking Pete Davidson, like, "Oh, he's in the movie." Like, dude, it's an ensemble film. Like, how much screen time he's gonna have in the film? He's not really the main character. And they're like Pete Davidson haters out there, like, "Oh, thank God he's not going to be alive throughout the whole movie."
Yeah, he's not even in the movie like that much. He's in it for like 10 minutes, like you said, Matt.
Yep.
How great the shot was, the reflection on the ground in the opening of the movie with Michael Rooker. So it was Savan playing a little ball and bouncing around, like the way that James Gunn was shooting that shot of the reflection of him from the top view. Yeah. And that was a great shot of that movie. I love that. That was a great cold opening.
Yeah, he's masterful with the camera, James Gunn. I mean, he gets credit all the time for writing, storytelling, but his shot selection and how he frames a shot is uncanny, man. He's triple, double entendre talented, man. That guy has everything and has a fine ass wife who can act. Damn.
Which
he would not just like most people give him shit for putting his wife in a lot of his projects.
I'm like David F. Sandberg, Rob Zombie put their wives on.
Yeah, like Rob Zombie would like to have a word with you.
I mean, how many DC characters that Sean Gunn played that you wouldn't even notice? And
Sean Gunn was an actor beforehand, like Gilmore Girls and all that. And plus, so was his wife. His wife was in American Pie: The Naked Mile.
Oh yeah, the cinematographer Henry Braham. I can't even pronounce his last name right, but yeah, if you notice his like work on the cinematographer, he did the Golden Compass, he did The Legend of Tarzan, and then he did Guardians Volume 2 and 3, and yeah, this Suicide Squad, he did The Flash, and he did the recent one, Superman.
Well, you can't all be winners.
Something.
At least he did Superman.
That
Flash. Well, with the Flash, you can't all be winners.
That's true.
That's up for a different discussion.
Something that I appreciate about James Gunn is that he can go from something which the Guardians of the Galaxy movies do have their dark humor, sure. Like, I'm not going to say it doesn't, but on the whole, they're way more sincere superhero movies than something like Suicide Squad, which is a lot darker. But it speaks to James Gunn as a director how he can go from something like a Guardians of the Galaxy to this, and it pulls off so well that no one questions it.
Right.
Which, this is crazy that he got this role because, seriously, he literally got fired for making those tweets, which, to be fair, I'm going to say this now, and I know this might be controversial.
Yeah, but those tweets were ages ago. Those were years ago. You got these morons who went on the witch hunt and tried to get him canceled.
And there were 2 or 3 of those tweets that were actually really funny, okay? I'm sorry, but the Jerk Lose tweet was fucking hilarious. I laughed my ass off. Okay?
Well, here comes Jake getting canceled, losing subscribers.
Yeah, I'm going to be on Pierce Morgan next week,
He's going to have Pierce Morgan next week. Just wait and see.
Look at the Footloose poster, okay? It looks like Kevin Bacon jerking off, okay? I'm sorry. But, I'm surprised South Park didn't even remember. Look at the Footloose. He's like this, it looks like he's getting off.
You got to understand, too, back then when he made those tweets, that type of humor was allowed.
If he was at a comedy club, those jokes would have killed him.
Yeah, and in a short amount of time, after 9/11, the world changed. People are getting more conscious, more sensitive. I don't know. I mean, the world is a shitty place. There's no changing that. But jokes, when you can laugh at your problems and you can laugh at everything that's bad, it cures you. It makes you feel better about your common fellow man. And when you can't laugh at things, the world's done. And for Disney, of all companies, to get their, feelings hurt or embarrassed, Disney been done some underhand things their whole career since the 1930s. So I don't want to hear it.
But also, tragedy is comedy.
Their CEO, not Bob Iger, but
even Joaquin Phoenix from Joker movies, hey, it's not a tragedy, it's a comedy.
Walt Disney was an anti-Semite. Literally said Hitler wins. So literally, so before you Disney, their history is kind of shady as well. Okay, I'm just saying.
I just think that in today's world that people are way overly sensitive and they can't really take a joke. They really take it too personal, and that's the problem in today's world.
But it also speaks to James Gunn's talent that he can go from where he was canceled to heading up an entire studio. So the movie world is volatile, folks. It's
but here's the thing. But prior to his being fired from Disney, Kevin Feige wanted him to be his right-hand man for the MCU. Yep. He wanted to oversee the control of the MCU's Cosmo universe.
Yep.
And that was the plan.
Yeah, and James Gunn said he gave notes on a lot after Joss Whedon was thrown out of Disney. He said he was the one who was given all the notes to on movies. He said, I gave notes on Spider-Man Homecoming and Far From Home. And he says, I gave notes on like Ant-Man and the Wasp, and he says, I gave notes on like several movies. Like, I would just give notes on them. Like, okay, Thor: Love and Thunder, you need to, or not Thor: Love, but he said Thor Ragnarok. He said he gave a lot of notes on that one, saying, oh, you should do this and this and this. And
Yep.
And he said, yeah. So he says, I literally have been given notes. He said since like 2016 or 17. I've been given notes on every single MCU project, and he goes up until his firing of 2018. That's when they stopped giving his notes. Which, yeah, it's kind of weird. It's like, there's a different quality in these movies now. It's like, it's like I don't know. It's like kind of weird that like.
To quote,
and also, a lot of people like the
quality is going up. It's weird. It's kind of weird, huh?
What were you going to say? What were we going to say, Ryan?
To quote Bart Simpson, really makes you think.
Yep.
A lot of people like to shit on James Gunn, saying like, "Oh, he's telling too much jokes. Do you want to be depressed and watch a serious movie and be depressed all your life and feel fucking like depressed after you watch a movie? You don't like having fun?
Watch anything,
dude. It's a comic booky
Aronofsky.
fucking world. It never takes itself seriously.
He has a great mix of comedy, pulls at your strings, great at shooting action. I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy, the opening scene is heartbreaking. His mother's dying, and he didn't want to touch her. And at the end,
He didn't want to go to her.
He goes full circle, 180, and then he sees his mom again, or in this case, it's his father. He's a great storyteller. And also, if you can make people laugh in the midst of a film, that's amazing. It's hard to make people laugh.
The third film with Rocket's backstory made you tied your heartstrings and weep.
The sad song at the opening, I'm like, damn, also James Gunn, The Creep by Radiohead, where it's like, oh my God, James Gunn.
Dude, he ought to be a DJ, a disc jockey. Dude, he brings back classics. I mean, my son is playing Superman's theme songs and that punk rock song in rotation. And the scene with Mr. Terrific, my son has it on rotation. I hear it 50 times a day.
Fun.
I did not. Yeah. I can listen to that.
The more I watched it, because I seen it the third time, and I had a lot of fun watching it, Mr. Terrific scene, and the song really fits so well. And I had a little mixed feelings by the end of the movie with the punk rocker, but then it really grew on me because that's his song that Superman loves to listen to. That's his taste in music.
Punk rock is kindness. That's the whole message of the movie.
Punk rock is kindness. The whole message of the movie is that we need to be more kind to people because we live in a harsh reality where we're not so kind to each other. Yeah,
when he tells Lex Luthor, he goes, I grew up, and he says, I'm afraid. I live, I eat, I breathe. He goes, I'm just like you. And then like he said, which basically, it almost is like he's trying to say, I am more human than you. You hate humanity. I love humanity. That's the difference between me and you. You hate them.
Yeah, most aliens do that. E.T., all these alien movies, they study humans and teach us how to be better human beings from an alien standpoint. And Superman is no different. He's an alien from a different planet. He was shown kindness and love, and he can, showcase it along with his strength, how to be a better, quote unquote, human being.
Yeah, and what made him the man today was his adopted parents by Jonathan and Martha Kent that taught him to be kind to people, and that's in Earth was the only home he knew. He doesn't have no memories of the world before this one.
So, going back to Suicide Squad.
I know. We love Superman. We can talk Superman, about that all day.
It's a Suicide Squad, not the Superman. But no, I get that. Which look, so to be fair, that's a great movie, and definitely I urge you all to watch that movie. It's so good. It's doing really well. I'm so glad James Gunn, DC is getting its foot back in the door.
Yes.
This movie, I really love this movie. What I love about this movie is this movie does have like great characters. Like you have like Bloodsport, who basically is Deadshot. We were talking off camera before we come in originally Will Smith was going to do this movie as Deadshot, but then what had happened was Will Smith wanted to do Bright 2 instead, and so like, I'm gonna be shooting Bright 2, and he really wanted to do Bright 2, but then that went under, and then he chose King Richard, which I'm like, I guess Will just fell upward, and then as Matt said, he would go to the Oscars and slap.
Then he got an Oscar win for King Richards. Chris Rock cracked a joke about his wife, and then bitch slapped him in front of everyone in the Oscars. Which that's the funny thing to me when you watch that in context. He was laughing at the joke. He was laughing. He was cracking a laugh. You could tell. And then he just suddenly flips the 180 and just slaps him and humiliates him.
let's not relitigate the slap here. We're burying.
Yeah, every time we watch Gotham, we're covering Gotham right now, and every time we watch Gotham, every time I see Will Smith slap somebody, I start saying, "Man, she slapped that woman harder than Will Smith slapped Chris Rock."
I have to give him DJ, I have to give him a quota so he doesn't make too many jokes. Like that's your one. That's your one. That is your one per episode.
But also with prior to the trailers, I mean, like I've only watched I watched two versions of the trailers. There was a green band trailer and a red band trailer for the Suicide Squad, and I thought that the green band trailer kind of felt better than the red band because it was a little too goofy. This one was fits into the tone when we see the film in context. And I still trusted James Gunn because he knows how to take these unknown, obscured, ridiculous comic booky characters and try to make them work. Because when you watch Guardians Volume 1, it had a chance to not work at all, and he was able to open the floodgate, and that he can do anything at this point. Peacemaker was something I had no knowledge of. He was a douchebag, a Captain America version that kills minorities. He's basically a racist superhero.
That's why I tell my aunt. That's like when she was to come in, I was like, "Oh, he's like a white supremacist version of Captain America."
Pretty much. With Polka Dot Man, you never thought that Polka Dot Man would work.
No.
But it did. The villain of this movie is a pink and blue one-eyed starfish. And one of the members of the Suicide Squad is a shark, voiced by Sylvester Stallone, whose entire dialogue is bird. And somehow this movie works.
Nom nom.
Nom nom.
What?
Buckshot.
Which I will say this though.
Did you know that Steve Agee, the John who played the tech guy, he did the performance capture of King Shark?
Oh, okay, that's right.
What were we saying, TJ?
He brought Harley Quinn to life in this movie. You know, the scene she had by herself at the guy's estate, man, cinema for a comic book. It was beautifully shot. Her characteristics, her character actually matched. It had to be rated R so she can actually show her true self. And like I said, man, James Gunn is great. His special effects group, they are fantastic. The special effects of this movie were lights out, man.
I never thought I was gonna. Here's the thing: I never thought I was gonna love Idris Elba's Bloodsport. I feel like, oh god, are they ripping off Deadshot? Pretty much the same.
He was gonna be Deadshot.
And then I never thought he would actually work, and I actually loved his character depth, his backstory of why he is so afraid of rats because he had a rat phobia. It's ridiculous when you hear it, but then in his context, his backstory when he was young, the way that he got punished by locking in the crate for 24 hours. His dad punished him by shoving him like starving rats in the crate. And now you understand that the even moment, and there's another great emotional moment that I love was Ratcatcher 2's backstory. You get a great visual in an exposition of her backstory that she was able to control rats. Her dad was the first Ratcatcher, which was played by Taika Waititi, which that was a surprise cameo that I did not see that coming. He was a junkie and he died by a drug overdose. And she's an orphan. She came to America. She gets arrested for a bank robbery for something she didn't really do. And they think that the rats are her weapon.
And up into this movie, I never thought John Cena was a good actor. Because usually we go from wrestling or, some sports to a movie. This dude got some pretty damn good acting chops. But that's because he was directed well and the script was tailored to his talent. And to go on to do Peacemaker, this dude is phenomenal in front of the camera.
For sure, because he was the perfect fit. I mean, that James Gunn is great with casting. He does not just get great random mega stars. He goes someone who is the right fit for the role.
Yeah.
Well, he offered Dave Bautista the role of Peacemaker, but then Dave Bautista's like, I want to do Army of the Dead. He said it'll help me get my build a relationship with Netflix, and I really want to work with Zack Snyder. And so he goes, go ahead, man. He says, I would do it too. He said, go ahead, I'll find someone else. And he goes, okay, you won't be mad or nothing because I'll do it, buddy, if you want me to. He goes, no, go ahead and do it. And he goes, okay. And then I'm Dave Bautista. I'm sure is kicking himself going, that would have been the first leading role he did a movie where it was amazing.
He's been in two, soon to be 3 Dune movies, so let's not feel too bad.
Well, no, he's not going to be in the third one.
Peacemaker is the lead in Peacemaker.
Yeah.
Cena actually locked out.
Okay.
I mean, well, to be fair, he had been in a lot of better roles, even though he's not the lead for Dave Bautista. But at least he got a lot of good roles.
Yeah.
Which I will say, but John Cena was in 2 movies in 2021: The Fast and Furious 9, which is an awful movie. He's awful in. Then he was in the Suicide Squad. You know what is so funny about that is it feels like the Fast and Furious here watched Suicide Squad and said, we're going to make him more like Peacemaker for Fast 10. And then they just went and made him comedic at Fast 10. Because in Fast 9, he's like all serious. And then Fast 10, he's like, ha ha ha. Yeah,
but every time he tries to be serious, you can't take it seriously. Like that acting was very off. Because when he lets loose, that's when he's actually at his finest. If you watch him in Bumblebee, he does loosen up a bit when you first meet his character in Bumblebee. But then when he's all seriousness, his acting was really rough to watch. Like, oh God, I can't. This is so laughable, dude. You're not Schwarzenegger, dude. You're not Arnold.
Where he's serious when he kills Rick Flag.
Oh God, that scene was great.
Yes.
When he goes, Peacemaker, what a joke.
Joel Kinnaman, who plays Rick Flag Jr. in the movie, we last saw him in the previous Suicide Squad. We didn't really like his character all that much, but in this one, he was written very well in the movie. I love Rick Flag in this one than I did in this last movie.
I mean, he's so good in this movie. And you know what's sad, though? Really sad because...
Dude, justice for Captain Boomerang, who bit the dust, too, because he was in the last movie, and they just fucking offed his character.
The people that hated... Which, you know what? Now, James Gunn has said now that this movie no longer is part of, the old Suicide. We said this is more or less a retcon, rebooted version.
Yep.
Yeah. He even said that everything that is acknowledged, that they acknowledge from what happened for their certain events, that's canon.
Peacemaker killed Rick Flag. He said now it might be different now. Harley Quinn may have not went with them. It might have been someone else instead went with them. And instead of Bloodsport, it might be Deadshot that was, because originally he wanted Idris Elba as Deadshot, but then because Warner Bros. Forced their hand and said, you cannot make him because we want Will Smith to return to the role one day.
Yeah, because technically this movie is still a DCEU like continuity thing in that universe.
So we had changing the Bloodsport. Which originally he even had an idea for Deathstroke, but then we want Joel Magelato to return one day for that role. So then he goes, all right, Bloodsport. And then they're like, okay, we don't even know who that is. So okay, yeah, sure. And they're like, all right, which
they were a little bit accurate with the one event that he used a kryptonite bullet to shoot Superman and put him in the hospital.
It's probably going to be David Corns, but he put a kryptonite bullet in.
It might be. It would make more sense.
Which, by the way, I do like in this movie, though, how Peacemaker is just basically how he grew. He's just such a douche and everything. And then, of course, they all become together when they go to the bar and everything. And the rat Peacemaker goes, hey, you forgot the rat and everything. And I thought that was really great.
It just shows you that he's not all that bad as you think. Because because you don't really know too much about his backstory until you get into the show. And you know the depth of his character and his backstory about having a bad influence from his own father, who was a total white supremacist and a racist asshole.
Yeah, and he raised him and his brother to be, he was raising him and his brother to be a white supremacist asshole. Yep. Instead, he only raised Peacemaker to be it, and then Peacemaker then said, "I'm going to go and kill people, minorities." For the best of justice. And I'm like, wow, that's a fucked up way to do. That's a fucked up idea, boy. He goes, I'm impressed so much. By the way, I'm glad that they don't try to play into that too much in the movie. They
don't try to be too on the nose on that.
No. He's because you could tell movie. Definitely oh, you have Idris Elba. You could tell he could be cracking racist jokes at Idris Elba or saying
because him and the gay chick, the gay black chick, hey, they loved each other, man. They got along great.
That's his best friend in the movie.
They're best friends. They're besties.
Yeah. I would say honestly, he's more friends with her than he is with Vigilante, and everything.
Vigilante is like his friend, like you don't want him around, but he's just here and it's like, okay, we can tolerate him. We still need him. He's a psychopath, but Vigilante's character, James Gunn took that version of that character, took that idea from what he made that movie with Rainn Wilson, Super, a psychotic superhero will kill anyone who break the law, even if it's a small thing. Doesn't care.
We'll get to Peacemaker when we do.
We will. We'll get to that
but
one.
I will say, I do like also, there is a scene, the scene that always gets me is the scene whenever Bloodsport falls down, Peacemaker's about to execute Ratcatcher 2. And she goes, you have the file in the white killer me. And he goes, because I'm thorough. And then all of a sudden he sees Bloodsport and then they're looking
she
at
knew too much.
Go, boom, boom, and then it just
because they were having that little standoff. It's a Western. It definitely felt like a Western
so
thing
good.
with no dialogue. There's no dialogue, and it was
Right.
perfect at the way that they shot that in
My-
context. Doing
My
their little
favorite scene
shoot
in the
off.
whole movie.
which he's like, ow, and he goes, smaller bullets.
He took his advice from earlier in the movie, like small
Yeah.
bullets go inside of the middle and doesn't hit the side.
Yeah, but which in Peacemaker originally, James Gunn said Peacemaker died in that scene. But
Yeah.
whenever John Cena was just so good in dailies, and so he asked the Warner Brothers after the movie. This movie was already out. This was before
After the release that he announced that he wanted to do a Peacemaker show, and he had asked Warner Brothers if he wanted to do it because he loved working with John
The
Cena.
movie was already shot. They said it was about to come out, and they said, "Can I come? Can I make a Peacemaker show?" And they were like, "If you want to, yeah." So then he had the only thing is he killed his ass, and so I need to go back. So they said on the set of Peacemaker season 1, he shot the hospital.
But they reshot it. They had to do a reshoot for the end credit scene to set up his own show.
Yeah, then they said that was shot on the set of Peacemaker season 1 of him.
Yeah, that's when they were shooting. That was supposed to be the scene in Peacemaker season 1.
Yeah, they shot that because they said we killed him, like because his eyes were open. He was like,
There's one scene in the movie that James Gunn brings up that one of his favorite scenes to shoot was on the rooftop when they were discussing the plan, and Peacemaker was eating 36 empanadas. John Cena ate 36 empanadas. And he had a shit for 3 days, for like 36 hours. He had the shits a lot. And the one funny that was so improv that Rick Flag was like, "Who the fuck ate all the empanadas?"
which, and then Bloodsport's like, "Nope, I didn't." He's like,
And I was like, "No, I didn't."
And
And you see Peacemaker just chowing the shit out of the empanadas. And I love when James Gunn did something different in this movie where he's adding a lot of fonts of what's happening in certain scenes, like Dirty Little Secrets or opening logo, like every font's from blood or like a bunch of branches and everything. That was very creative. That it was never done like that before.
I will say one thing I do like about Harley Quinn, going back to what Bladtastic said, how she's great in this movie. Whenever she shoots and kills like the general guy, when she shoots after
she shot the president. She shot the president of Cornwall
he was the president. Yeah, she shot him in the chest and kills him. It just shows you how crazy she really is. And so she's like, because she goes, and then when she says the line, "Now let all the blood, all the bad thoughts go out into the blood, okay? I'll leave all your head." And I'm just like, it shows you how crazy she is, especially then she's being tortured and she goes, "I got no." I'm just like, that is
she loves the pain. She loves the pain. She doesn't mind the torture.
Just
I love the 69 joke. It's like 69. He's like, no, and he was like, what?
And then,
she literally Margot Robbie actually did the scene where she broke free from when she was using her monkey feet to have the keys and unlock the lock. That she really did that stuff.
By Tanya, and she said she could do all that stuff in real life.
I mean, I will say that subplot with her and the president was kind of unnecessary, but I get why they did it. I mean, even though if you take that out, it wouldn't have done anything different.
I think, what James Gunn has said is because Margot wasn't available. She was shooting another movie at the time.
Yeah.
So they didn't even know if they were going to have her in the movie. But then, of course, after because that's why she's not part of a B team. So basically, whenever she wrote the script, he said, "Oh, she'll be at the beginning," and then but then he said he came up with a whole subplot whenever she was available because the studio wanted her to be in the movie. They wanted Harley Quinn.
Yeah, because it's Margot Robbie. I mean, she was literally coming off of Birds of Prey, which that movie did not do so well. Like that was the first DC movie that was R-rated too.
Yeah, but this one was a much better movie.
Of course it was, and like you don't even need to watch Birds of Prey to understand this movie. It's an ensemble. I heard some people complain like Harley Quinn's not in the film much. Well, she's not the main character. She's not the lead. It's not her movie.
The lead is Bloodsport and Peacemaker and Ratcatcher too.
And Rick Flag and even Rick Flag too.
Rick Flag, yeah. Which I will say one thing I do like. I do like about this, one thing I like about Polka Dot Man. He's a tragic character where he's like, my mom wanted metahumans, so basically she drug experiments on me and my brother, and then when I was an adult little boy, I killed my mother after she was abusing me.
Yeah, and she can literally see her mom everywhere he goes. The visuals of the shot of the whole team looking like his mom.
Sometimes it was ridiculous.
That was like hysterically disturbing. That I've never seen. I would not. I don't know how to live with myself if I had to suffer that type of thing in my life. Imagining my mom that tortured me and have to suffer an interdimensional virus.
When he's turned out the club, you see a bunch of his moms, like all the hot women.
Even when he's grunting with some hot ladies in the club, and it was his mom, imagining his mom.
That was clever, man. James Gunn just knows how to use special effects and scenery to tell a story without any words. And every single person in this movie had a chance to shine. They got their Mr. Terrific moment before we knew who Mr. Terrific was. But James Gunn gives everybody a set of skills, and it comes in handy at the right time, and it's very memorable.
He doesn't treat this as a one man's movie. It's the whole team. Everyone gets their part.
Whole movie, but instead it's like everybody has to see an important.
But also, how bad you feel about Kane Shark when he gets left behind when they go to the bar?
Yeah,
like he just sits there and gets sidelined, and you know that he's a man who has no friends. He's a misfit. He gets thrown to the side, and he wants to have friends. Like, I have no friends.
Which I will say, I do like the whole sequence of him chasing after when they're in Jotunheim, and he's looking at all like the little, the creatures.
Every time we hear Jotunheim, we know Idris Elba was in the Thor movies that played Heimdall. And then the first movie, they go to we're going to Jotunheim. If you remember in the first movie, Thor.
Yeah, I don't remember. Okay.
Because it was the frost giants. It was the planet full of frost giants in that world in the first one when they go to confront the one of the leader of the frost giants. And it was a place called Jotunheim.
Yeah. What do you think about?
I haven't seen that in years.
What did you think about whenever y'all saw the sequence when they get arrested, by the Corto Maltese army, and then all of a sudden Idris Elba's like, and they play the song "Rain," and then all of a sudden he's like getting light, and then all of a sudden John Cena takes a shotgun, and boom, and then he sticks his hand. And I'm like, you can see how big John Cena. He's a bulky, big guy, and you see his hand. And it's like a Terminator hand. It's like Schwarzenegger type hand.
How funny was the Tidy Whities joke? Fucking Tidy Whities. Oh, that's just racist.
He goes, "That's what they are, you Tidy Whities."
What the fuck are you with? Tidy Whities?
So why are you in your fucking underwear?
That was so funny.
And he has a way of letting people being very masculine, and it's acceptable. He does it in a fun way, in a funny way. Because these guys are huge in his movies. Idris Elba's a big dude, and he's just.
Dude, how old is that guy? He's like is he like in his 50s or 60s? He looks great.
Yes.
Yeah, which Idris Elba did at first was not on board with this movie because whenever James Gunn was casting, because the tweets thing was kind of overshadowing. So Idris Elba said he was not uncomfortable. He wanted to meet with James Gunn first because he said this dude is. He said, I don't know if this because people are like, should I do this movie because of the controversial director. And so he met with James Gunn. He's like, James Gunn explained everything. Like, no, I made tweets a long time, but like, no. And so he says, and of course, after meeting with James Gunn, he said, yeah, I'll do the movie. Because which I thought, man, I understand why. You kind of get skeptical because you're like, you just
I don't blame him.
Fired for controversy and everything, and then you're just like, he got fired.
But you'd be surprised. Well, here's the thing: all the cast members fought for James Gunn for him to get rehired to do the third Guardians of the Galaxy. Dave Bautista was willing to go to court and take away his contract, like rip the contract away, because he would not be doing the Guardians movie without James Gunn.
Yeah.
That incident made me pay attention more to James Gunn. Before, he was a named director. The movie was bigger than him, Guardians of the Galaxy. But when that incident happened after part 2, the whole tweets, I started paying attention to James Gunn and who he was as a person. I'm like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
For every single person of every creed and color, Asian, Hispanic, Latina, whatever, they all went to bat for him. That says something about James Gunn.
Hey, I heard
I need to pay more attention to this guy. And that changed my whole outlook on everything. I'm like, this dude is really, really cool. For them to say, F you, Disney, Marvel, if he ain't directing this movie, we ain't doing it.
David Bautista protested.
They offered Taika Waititi the directing gig and Travis Knight, and both of them said, I am not directing that. It's James Gunn's movie. I would never take a job from somebody else.
Thank you.
Taika Waititi said that. And then so did Travis Knight saying, I am not going to be the guy that, no, I'm not stealing somebody else's job.
Because it shows you how much they really respect James Gunn, that he is actually a great guy to work with. He's a great collaborator. He's willing to listen to a lot of people's ideas. He's an open-minded. He's not just about my way or the highway type of thing.
James said
not that guy.
Taika Waititi said he would not direct Thor 4 if James Gunn's not reinstated. He said, I'm walking away. because they were talking to him about making another Thor movie, and he even said, I'm not only going to not do Thor 4, I'm not coming back as the Rock guy. You know, he said he's not coming back, and so he said, I'm not coming back as Rock guy, and I'm not doing Thor 4. And so
and they were going to like break their contract with Disney. They didn't care. Bautista made a big old stink about it. I was like, wow. But that incident made me, like I said, pay more attention to James Gunn as a person more so than a director. And every interview of people in this movies love him. Men, women, everybody says nothing but great things about him. That really opened my eyes to what kind of person James Gunn is. And now I see his flavor sprinkled out through all his movies. I get it now. I get it.
Yeah, they all vouch for him.
It really irks me, though, because people say, oh, he made some jokes that were questionable.
Dude, there are a lot of people on social media. There are a lot of people on Twitter are calling him a pedophile or racist. Like, what are you
filer. They're calling him a filer. And I'm like, I was like, Trey Parker, Matt Stone make those jokes on South Park every week, okay?
They make a lot of those pedophile jokes. They did.
They're calling them a bunch of It's literally just not like James. Yeah, there's some shit that he shouldn't have out there tweeted just casually as a joke. Yeah, but at the same time, I'm like, you know what? This is 2011, okay? This was like in the golden
Dude, the jokes were allowed. They were bold. They were allowed to joke about anything.
You had a movie literally. The Horrible Bosses, that the year he tweeted Horrible Bosses come out, and there was literally a joke in the movie. No, okay, not Horrible Bosses. There in the movie The Change Up with Ryan Reynolds had come out that year, and there was a joke in the movie about a baby shitting. Like literally, you see a baby's asshole shit on Jason Bateman's face. Okay, so
you see a baby getting electrocuted.
Yes. So I'm just saying, is it literally like you're going after him when that's in a movie from 2011, the same year he tweeted out jokes like that? That's in a movie, you know. And also, I'm just saying, also in Horrible Bosses, okay.
Well, that goes to show you, man, with social media, when you get popular, it's a double entendre. There's people out there that want to see you fall, and it was probably some right-wing guy who just hated James Gunn and did some heavy digging and found something and brought it to light.
There's a bunch of grifters that are willing to attack them just to fit in their own bullshit narrative. And there is even they even do a lot of stupid screenshots saying that it looks bad. Like, see, it looks shit. The movie's awful. See the screenshot? Like,
right.
Of course, it's gonna look bad when you do it in the wrong time.
I have my heart out. Remember, it's 9.
Okay. Well, look. All right. So wrapping this up. Okay. Do you have any final thoughts on the Suicide Squad?
Didn't know it was going to start.
It was the beginning of the DCU.
Universe, but...
I'm just glad.
Yeah,
it's the beginning of the DCU.
If you out of 10, Ryan, what would you give it?
I'll give this a 9.5.
What about you, Blacktastic?
I'll give this a 9.5.
I'll second that motion. 9.5. It's so close to a 10.
What about you, Matt?
It's a masterpiece. I love this movie from beginning to end. I don't have that much issues in the movie. And also going back to very quickly, the Starro character. In case most of you don't know who that character is, it's a comic book villain that faced the original Justice League, debuted in the Silver Age of comic books, and it was called The Brave and the Bold. And it was I think it was like the issue 28. So we never thought that Starro would work, and it actually did. And it would have been cool to see the Justice League face off Starro, but it made more sense for the Suicide Squad to off that character, especially with Ratcatcher 2.
All right. Well, I'm going to give this a 10 out of 10. I just think it's my favorite movie of 2021. It's my favorite movie of the year. I loved it so much that I ended up buying all the McFarlane of Suicide Squad because I just loved it so much. Ryan, what do you got coming up on your channel?
So we're on the road to Fantastic Four First Steps. We're going to be talking about Fantastic Four 05. That will be edited and up very soon. And then Rise of the Silver Surfer's not far behind. And talking Gotham and a bunch of other stuff. I'm going to be covering the Naked Gun movie Solo. So stay tuned for all of that.
Cool.
All right. What about you, TJ?
Man, I just resumed filming my latest film, the trilogy for the Werewolf series that I'm doing. So after the 4th of July, I took a little bit of a break after the success of the DVD Man. Now I'm back hitting the blocks hard. Got a great crew. And Halloween, the movie be ready for release. It's called I'm Done. It's the final chapter in my werewolf series.
What about you, Matt?
Are you trying to do the eyebrow move like Jim Carrey? Like, we all notice it, dude. That's a good one, but that is actually good. But you can find my YouTube channel at MattWyatt92. I just uploaded my recent trailer reaction to the Predator Badlands. I did the 17th anniversary of my review of The Dark Knight, Christopher Nolan's film, and a couple of trailer reactions to Tron Ares and Mortal Kombat 2, and my non-spoiler review for Superman. And I will be seeing this Thursday to see the Fantastic Four, which I really cannot wait.
Awesome.
Well, I just uploaded my review for F1 this past week. I am going to edit this. This is pre-recorded, so it'll, by the time this airs, it'll air sometime this week. So I got to go and just add some clips in and, do this, add some clips and, do some fun stuff and everything. And then I will upload it. I'll tag you guys when it's uploaded. And afterwards, and then of course we have Talking Gotham every week, and we're doing Rise of the Silver Surfer sometime later this week. And then that shitty Fan 4 stick. And then, of course, after that, this Friday for my review will be Sinners, because I really enjoyed Sinners. And so, you can find us at 3dmoviecinema.com. And thank you to the Small Zero Gang, and thank you, Blacktastic, for joining us on this episode. All right, if you can, thank you so much. And from the gang, we say to you, peace out, guys.
Peace. We out.
Sharpton for president, y'all. I'm outie.
Jesse Jackson for VP.